This is Spotlight, and I am Alina Fechunga. And today we have Chisomo Kawaga. I was about to say Gawanga. I had to do my background checks. I'm like, yeah, the Gawaga, not Kawanga. Yeah? So she is a filmmaker, an editor, cinematographer, drone operator, scuba diver, and visual storyteller. In one person.
Basi.
Maori talented. Hi. And Maluso siana kusiririta. Okay. So tell me, how did you, okay, zinazi, it's in one field, yeah? Komano randuza kuti scuba diving. How did you fall into scuba diving? Because zinazi, it's all, you know, TV, cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah. So actually, the part of a community called Nature Environment Wildlife Filmmakers. They, in that community, you find Antosi and Siana with different skills. So most of my friends are into like scuba diving. Nde waweza ukakhala ndi ma friends mukujeza akuweza kwakambirana za motion iwe sukuziziwa akamapita ukapanga dive uli kuntunda sukuziwa china chonse chimene chikuchitika kenako basi nati bwanji ningopanga join kuti at least conversation izikhala chimozimozi. Then that's when I started my tests, and then basi napeza join, and I fell in love with the whole world in the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unaizo kuti kusambira umathakali.
No. Kusambira, of course, anifuza kumasambira nene. Kuma kusambira wake amaligemula kuti African swimming. Then
wow.
Bola kapike. Then I had to go through like a training process in 1 week, plus also my test scuba diving, and then later on I was certified. Yeah.
Hi, muzari phuziseko, of course then afemaziri maova ndewolo kusambira go. It's no goes on. All right, now tell me, how did your passion for film start?
Honestly, I never knew Goody I would actually end up in film, because also I wasn't sure what I wanted in my life.
Yeah.
I went to school and studied IT, but at that particular time, Cheetos IT is in my soul. Then later on, I was introduced to editing, video editing. Made edit my highlight, and then came project Fatani. That's where I was like, wow, this is something I would love to focus on. It looks so interesting, and I think I'm in love with this career path. That's where it all started for me. Yeah.
All right. Now you were also part of the Multi-Choice Talent Factory. Because now you were like, yeah, I think I've fallen in love with this, or it was just, let me try this out.
So, not necessarily because I was in love with filmmaking, but it's more of goody. Zambiri, I was watching my tutorials on YouTube and learning from people on set. So it was more of goody. I'm seeing a program where they are bringing in different people to teach you. I was like, oh, so I think for me, couldn't expand knowledge. It's best I apply into this and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did that work for you?
Oh, it was really. It changed the whole perspective of filmmaking for me. Like, Palizambi is already tikamaziona pa maseta ku Malawi, then kupita ukaphuza umene kuti makauti actually chijajo timapanga zvola kuika, that's why timakhala mafota and the right way to do it is mwakuti. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now that you've been part of that factory, yokuti makhala mukuphuzira zinthu zenizeni with my experts. Mwina tangondozo zokuti ndipatipo pamene tikusowekera kuti I think apa tikonze apa.
Okay, I think what ndabanyona notice kwambiri in terms of filmmaking ku Malawi, timazi phwekesa. That's the thing. We say things like Malawi tili kutali sitinafikepo, and funding makuti. I think for us it's best we use whatever resources we have and make it happen, because I went to Kujen when I was in Zambia. I was part of my sets in time amapanga zoo so there were some scenes that would need kukhale kuti kunja kwade, but kumapezeka zokuti samadikirira kuti kude.
Kude,
So they made stuff that made zimene zimachinga mawindo everywhere blocking light kuti ikhale ngati kwada kunja. So it was just a matter of initiative. They took initiative kupanga create zinthu zokuti they should achieve whatever goals they have. And I think for us it's more like we need to make sure that we use whatever resources we have rather than I want to ndangopanga yonje for I did not have these resources and whatnot. Yeah.
All right. So now tango titenga mwina through your creative process. Let's say, for example, you do, you're a filmmaker as a person, yeah? Tango tenga through your creative process. Where do you start from and how do you execute it?
Okay. For instance, let's say I have a project Jambule. So before I get into the whole project, I have this whole process where I look at the script and whatever document I've been given about the project. So I read it, ndifa Malawi nthawi zina chizungu chimazavuta ndimazaisiya project ija kuyamba kumvera ka nyimbo ka ndionera some stuff on YouTube just to get inspired. After that I go back to the thing and then I start coming up with ideas. Okay, okay, so that's basically my whole process.
Your whole process. All right, now you're a female in the industry. I know wouldn't how is Zambia. I mean, I did communication. Ndikuona camera koyamba ndimaobasana kuti are they sure kuti I can operate this integrator, and then it came to the lights, you're like ish ndikagwetsa ichichi nditani. Being a female in the industry, yeah, soon weren't you challenged kuti ish azimai nthazo samariyang'anira basi. I mean, even driving amaziyang'ana kuti ndinzimai, we understand, tangonduza zoti being a female in the industry, how do you take it? Komanso mwina, what challenges have you faced so far?
I think for me, the biggest challenge is what you've already stated, Kuti. We are underestimated. Yeah, so for me, that's like the biggest challenge. And it still happens whenever, even when I meet other filmmakers who haven't met me before. So now, we go back to my basics. So, not to be rude, I just stay silent and watch, because at the end of the day, there might be something I didn't know out of what they are teaching me. But when people underestimate me, because that gives me room to show them good. Actually, I can do this. Yeah.
All right. Now let's talk about some of your experience and my influences. Yeah. You did participate in Talents Durban 2025. Yeah. So can you just tell me how that has shaped you in the filmmaking industry?
So now that's really okay. I got in because of writing. I had to write a project from scratch. Writing plus then I was really forced into making sure I got a project that was suitable with what they wanted. And so I think for me it has shaped me in a way that I am comfortable in the zone of writing and also being able to direct my own films and take the whole creative approach to it. Yeah. So right. I think that's what's expanded my knowledge.
Okay, all right. Now tell us, Kuri, how do you manage to explore now? You're into, the humanity part of life, and then now the animal aspect of it as well. How did that, connect? Because I know kwanza to like special people focusing on animals, Komano, you're like doing both, the reality check, if to film, and then we go to the aquatic or maybe animals in general.
What I've learned, like between humans and animals, thing is shooting humans is very easy because shooting animals teaches you patience, and once you miss that shot, it's gone because zinyama zilibe script. It's a matter of I've learned with animals there's not really like a proper story. You make the story as you go. You have an idea of this is what I'm looking for in the animal, and then they'll do my actions in, and then you fix queen and winner. And now Connecting, I don't really know how to. The only way maybe to connect animals and humans is more like when you focus on stories like human-animal conflict, whereby, for instance, let's say mukhala ku malo kuti kuli national park and kumabwera njovu kuzaononga mu chimanga chanchani. So now it's about how are people going to like live with the animals without because so you just find ways on how to live together in harmony with the animals and stuff. So that's how you connect the story.
All right. Interesting much. I'll just, start filmmaking. Who knows? All right. Now, being, I'm pretty sure you also have some, inspirations in your life, yeah? Who are some of the filmmakers, artists that have influenced you and shaped you into who you are today?
Okay. When it comes to, let's say, film directors, Kunja, Kunja. That would be Michael Bay.
Okay.
Because that guy is just wild. Growing up, my movies, I think he was the one who directed Transformers and stuff, and those were like some of my favorite movies. And then coming back to Malawi, I was really inspired by, if you know this guy, Hago.
Yeah.
So he's like been a big part of my filmmaking journey. He's been the one who's been like advising me, and most of the stuff I learned from this guy. So that's the one who inspires me when being in Malawi.
Okay, all right. Now let's talk about your projects and collaborations. Two of your projects were nominated for the AMVCA's African Magic Viewers Choice Awards.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So now that was A Quiet Intruder and Strings. Yes. Now, what was the process like, and how did you end up getting nominated for the AMVCA's?
So actually, these were like projects we were not supposed to. We were part of, like, every time you're part of Talent Factory, you make feature films. So, and whenever you make those feature films, it's a requirement that you submit them. So we were like definitely lucky to get all those films nominated in there. Yeah.
Okay. So how was the pressure like? Okay, you were like Gudi Anawabanga nominated. I'm pretty sure Gudi say no, this time Abangidwa nominated. What was the pressure like? What if we don't get nominated?
Honestly, since it was just like in my early years of filmmaking, I wasn't really under a lot of pressure. I didn't know how these awards, how important they are. So I think after years and years of seeing that's when I was like, oh, actually, that is so funny here. But at the time, I was like, hey, Namaliza I'm done, David.
I see. CV away, eh? Being nominated to Nigeria, I mean. All right. Now you've also worked with big brands, talk of UNICEF, UNDP, Standard Bank. Like, what's the process like working with my big brands in Garamene, or for someone, so they might get that opportunity?
Yeah, so mostly when we talk about those brands, I've been working with them through my media companies, so they might necessarily not know me in person. So usually it's just the people who are in charge. They'll go to the meetings, they'll tell them what they're looking for, then and whoever is part of the crew, and then they discuss it with us. We shoot, and then we deliver. But the pressure is always, hey, this is a big brand. Let's make sure we give them the best.
All right. So how do you keep up with your consistency,
I think keeping up the consistency is all about like just making sure that they don't ignore you. Like in terms of you do cheaters, they go elsewhere, they'll come back saying, "Good, I feel like what you did for us was better than
The other person, yeah.
So the consistency is all about making sure your clients are happy, then they'll keep coming back. Otherwise, if you don't satisfy your clients, then uduka.
Okay, so client satisfaction ikhale baroom.
Yes.
Okay, all right, all right. Now, of all the projects that you've worked on, yeah, tangoduze zokuti yomwe maiona zokuti it was the most rewarding indeed you, and why?
I think for me the most rewarding was when I went to Mozambique to shoot. There's this series that is done by HHMI Tangled Bank Studios, USA. So we had to go make a film for them, like an episode, is because it's a series. We had to make an episode called Guano God. So it was most rewarding because I got to experience nature, like really experience it to the point where tinagona pamwala usiku in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
So that was like, oh wow, kandi kunjaku ndichonchi, and that the three of us good at any point kutobwa chinyama kuzakudyani kwa mulibe choice mugona bewonke for mujambule early in the morning. So I think that was the most rewarding for me because I got to experience that, and also it was my first time working with a big studio like HHMI. Yeah.
Okay, koda ntonde kuti moyo wanu sima ukonde. Okay, Japina, I get you on that. Now, Muna, can you just tell me what's your vision for the future of African storytelling in film and television?
My vision, or like
your vision?
I think for me, I would love to see an Africa where and to see anymore. We are from Africa, because we have the best stories, and you see some of the films that are making it big, countries, most of the stuff they're taking from Africa and telling them in their own way. So I wish I could see an Africa where we keep on telling our own stories in the best way possible, and also I want to see more girls in this industry. In departments like cinematography, departments, editing, and whatnot. Because they go to producing, writing, directing. Because I want to see us doing the heavy lifting.
The heavy cameras and
stuff like that. That makes me very happy.
All right. Yeah. Now you've talked about how as Africans we need to tell like our stories because we have those much stories to tell. How can we develop these stories to highlight this is the real experience of Africa, and this is what the true identity of Africa is?
The only way we can do that is if we are authentic, because most of our storytelling, we try to make movies like Hollywood movies, but that is not their culture. That is not our culture. Hollywood. We need to understand our culture. Okay, for instance, let's say you in Ngoni, you need to understand Angona Madani back then Amadan. That's the only way you can be able to tell stories authentically. Malawi, rather than using the blueprint of Hollywood. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see you on that. And Mina, as a country, do you think we are moving forward, or we are taking steps backward when it comes to film production?
I believe we're moving forward. For instance, let's say gear-wise, a lot of people are geared up with the best cameras and what's not. I think we just need to focus more on our storytelling. We need to be able to give it time, because Zambili, my production Zambili, I've seen it was a matter of zituluke and asangalale, but we need to give our productions some time. Before we bring out our projects, we need to have a few people who we trust. I mean, they also asking God, they will tell us things authentically. I think and then we bring it out for the others to see. That way, I feel like yeah, as it was it plus also we need more training.
Yeah.
Like we need toka, we can have my workshops, and because that's what people do outside there, the things I've seen like in festivals and whatnot. It's not just about watching movies or kubanga networking, but they do have times where they learn things, they bring in experts from different parts and then they learn. That's how they are growing their industries.
Okay, komatu Malawi timadana ndi chilungamo.
Of course.
Malawi tinadana ndi chilungamo. Kumakhala iya ukunduza zimenezo ngati ndani panga chako tione, you know.
Exactly. Komano basi we just need to be anthu okuti okumva. Ngati munthu usofuna wekha sopanga improve because imambira wekha. Ngati ufuna upanga improve umangomvesera zimene wakamba anthu and then you take zimene ukuona kuti zikupindulirazo.
All right. Now, Mwina, moving forward, what should we expect from you, production-wise?
Moving forward, I think kwambiri ndakandupanga nawo zama documentaries and stuff, but then currently I'm trying to focus on where I started, like with the whole filmmaking. I'm more interested a lot in fiction films.
Yeah.
So that's like where my passion started. So now I'm trying to focus on making more fiction films. Yeah.
Okay. Mugafuna actors zitiripo.
Zokondera kuziwa.
Yeah. Mugafuna actors zitiripo. Zokondera zazakamba. As long as we deliver, I'm pretty sure sangene zokuti ya ndi zokondera. You know? Yeah. All right. Now, Mwina, I think ngokamba koso bangono za the diving that you talked about. What's the experience like when you are on water? I'm pretty sure with my cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's the experience like? Like tango lusa the experience.
Actually, zimangopya kumambiri. In my own experience, the first time I got into the water, and it's like you're falling from the highest building ever, and then umangopita. So you need to know how to balance yourself. You might hit pasi, so you need to know how to balance yourself. And once you get there, but you just need to be aware of what's behind me, in front of me, and mashagi ondi tu takubana now. But basi imangufika pozolowera, as long as you are on your side, you are side yao, they won't bother you. Koma ukati upange zochenjera, sinagwire poshagi moyo mwanga ukagwira.
Koma mutu uzigwira shagi kuti yala kwashagi.
Ndaona ntena amakhala nisanga abuzika kwambogwira zinsomba zikulu kuti koma guys echocho kuti chikwiye ife siti mapuma basi ba tizilivuna usamagwira paena ake nditumira tsigira amagwira nsomba basi zovuta.
Okay. Yeah, do not try this at home, please. When I forgot to ask, how long did it take you you should learn the scuba diving?
So mostly, and when I'm a lot of time because of the whole swimming and stuff, but I had to do all that in 1 week.
In 1 week?
Yes. So I had to do the swimming. So zobuma zinaiwalika. Inali training yake military.
Okay.
Atamenda inao makae zuka kulawirira mama wa go for a swim kenako. After that, after the swimming, and then you need to learn more skills underwater. For instance, if someone already passes pasipo wakupanga kick mask yako ya joka, you need to learn how to put it back on and kuchosamaza ali mask yo while you are underwater. So mapuzira zinthu ngati zimenezo chinthu chimeupumira chitati chataika, how can you get it back without choking and stuff. So you learn that. So I had to do all that in 1 week plus my so kumakaso my so palibe yauleti. Oh wow. Ukakoza mpaka mapita mazi.
It takes us back to anthu kodi moyo wanu makonda. I mean now ndikupange imagine kuti maziwalo wako makuyenera watuluse but you're still underwater. Like make it make sense, you know?
It doesn't make sense until you experience
it. Yeah, enough water is a no-go zone, like already said. So yeah, That's good. That's good. All right. Now, can you just tell us also how do you how are you trying to make sure we as the audience resonate with your work?
I think for me, for people to be able to resonate with my work, trying to like make stories, probably some of the stuff that I've experienced, because these minutes they've already experienced, and when they see those kind of emotions in my work, I believe they can also resonate with stuff like that. Because I mean, China just remember when you need to put in something, I'm a get up on team,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So when you you pour yourself into that, people are able to resonate, and not everyone will resonate with it. Komano, people who have a similar understanding that you have are able to do
To
that.
resonate that.
Yeah.
All right, all right. And Mina, as we're going towards the end, you're also a drone operator. We rarely see female drone operators. How did you find yourself flying drones? Is it because you did IT, Gavena?
Not really. I think for me, I'm just a very curious
Person, yeah.
Yeah. Kubwera muntu, let's say amabanga, for instance, let's say mwina skydiving, and I get curious. Ndi ambofusa mafusa. Okay, this is maenda bwana njani. And then all of a sudden you find me doing the same thing. So for me, drones also started with curiosity. I would see people flying drones, and I'm like, okay, zukabwan. Oh, anyways, let me see. Can you teach me? Can I go back and push out for a few seconds? Then I go to YouTube and whatnot, and then I started like the whole thing of flying them.
Okay. Yeah, guys, in this life, be ambitious. Go for what you want. Do not limit yourself. And maybe what advice do you have to emerging filmmakers, kaya drone operators, kaya, anyone that wants to do gandis, ujen, scuba diving, imene, and of course, I'm going to say, speak to the girl child.
All right, dear girl child. I think one thing I would say for anybody who wants to become whatever they want to become in the world is don't let anybody project their fears on you. Be stubborn when it comes to what you want. Make sure you go for it. Also, this into Zoiba. When it comes to, let's say, career-wise, you want to be a filmmaker, you want to be a camera person or whatever, go for it. Don't let anyone stop you. Focus on it. Learn more. Use those whatever resources you have, and yeah, just be open also to the good advice people who have already been in the industry are telling you.
Okay. All right, guys. Go for what you want. The sky is not even the limit. Think outside the box is what we're saying. All right, guys. And this was Chisomo Kawaga. Emphasis on Kawaga. Yeah, so yes, she is a filmmaker, cinematographer, and of course a storyteller. Also, wala scuba diving because girl doesn't love her life, guys. But this was Spotlight, and I am Alinafe Chunga. Until next time, goodbye.